For some of us, when someone knocks on our door, we're kind of suspicious. Who's there? Who's there to bother us? Go away. Leave it by the door if it's the delivery man. Well, there's a number of in our community who are frail and welcome that knock, knock, knock on the door because they know it might be their only visit of the day. It might be their only visitor for the week. And I'm talking about the volunteers who deliver meals with Meals on Wheels here in Albuquerque, and they're being delivered now across the state of New Mexico. On the show today, we're going to talk about the 50th year anniversary that they just had last year in 2022, and we're going to talk about the next 50 years, well, let's say the next 5 years of this organization and how they plan to help, I think, serve a million meals. Is that how many? Shauna Frost is the CEO for Meals on Wheels. Thank you for being part of this two-part program on Meals on Wheels. And Cailin Murray, thank you for being a former volunteer coordinator and now the administrative assistant for this program and all that you do and all that you bring to our show and sharing the heart-touching programs about Meals on Wheels. But let's get right into the history of this. It started in if I do my math right, 1972.
1972. Started with a group of women who were just kind of looking at different issues within the city, and they decided that, you know, hunger was an issue and that there was this group of individuals, mostly frail and elderly, who were having trouble obtaining food. And so they reached out to Meals on Wheels America, which is a separate organization, asked if they could use the name, and Meals on Wheels America wrote back, said, yes, use our name, go ahead, go for it. And that's how it started. It started with 20 clients delivering to Encino House, and since then it's grown and blossomed, and we've delivered over 5 million meals in the past 50 years, and we have committed through our Million Meals campaign to deliver 1 million additional meals over the next 5 years, and that is a doubling of what we've done in the past 50, so we're excited.
We're excited. We're going to talk about your history in the program too, and Cailin, 1 million, we're going to have 1 million meals. The Presbyterian women, are they still involved with the organization?
So we actually are housed within the Presbyterian Northside Hospital, and they are very generous to us to pretty much give us the space. We pay $1 each year in rent. And so they provide us our administrative space, our kitchen space, you know, a lot of our utilities. So we are incredibly grateful to be able to continue to be connected.
We're going to look right back now on a video that you've given us the past 50 years, and then we're going to discuss the program the next 5, not 50, next 5 years. So let's take a look at what Meals on Wheels has been doing in our community the past 50 years.
At its core, Meals on Wheels of Albuquerque is the same now as it was when we were established 50 years ago. We use volunteers to deliver delicious, nutritious meals to our hungry, lonely neighbors, and we've always been about connections.
My mother was the very first volunteer coordinator, and her good friends Betty Lou Sims and Beverly Geck really started Meals on Wheels.
In 1972, Meals on Wheels of Albuquerque officially began operations. By the end of that year, we had delivered almost 15,000 meals. And in the 10 years that followed, we delivered a total of 500,000.
At Meals on Wheels of Albuquerque, we serve anyone of any age for any reason.
One of the things that makes us unique is that we offer 8 different diet types, which includes 3 different kinds of textures and 5 different kinds of diets.
There's no other program in our community that can provide that to a client. And that's what has always made us very distinct in the services that we provide.
Meals on Wheels of Albuquerque has always strived to deliver fresh, healthy meals. That was true when we delivered our 1 millionth meal in 1989, our 2 millionth meal in 2002, and our 3 millionth meal in 2010, and it's still true today. Along the way, we introduced frozen meal delivery, our pet program, and our local harvest program, added breakfast and dinner options, and started shipping meals statewide. The evolution of our services and offerings has always been centered around our wonderful clients.
We enjoy the visits as much as we do the food. It's just wonderful to have somebody, you know, come by once a day and sort of check on us.
You don't have to be a senior. You just have to be hungry. I'm just so thankful that I made it on this program, because I don't know what I would have done. I would have been out there begging people for food, for a dinner, and that's not me.
It's about helping people out, like me. If I wouldn't have Meals on Wheels, I probably wouldn't eat. A meal a day, hey, it's good enough for me.
In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic forced us to change how we delivered key services. We transitioned from daily deliveries of fresh meals to weekly deliveries of frozen meals, and we added daily phone calls to check in on our clients.
It was really hard for us, but I'm really proud to say that not a single day did we shut down. The staff kept coming in, we kept delivering the meals, and people kept getting fed.
These people are so dedicated that they make it work, and it's just a real testament to how awesome the staff and the volunteers are, and the clients for bearing with us during hard times and better times.
In 2021, we restarted hot meal delivery, and by the end of that year, we reached 4.5 million meals delivered since our founding 50 years ago. And now, as we begin our next 50 years of service, we invite you to support our brand new Million Meals campaign. Over the next 5 years, we aim to deliver 1 million more meals to hungry neighbors. We also look to eliminate our wait list and expand our services across New Mexico. All of this is possible with your support and a persistent and dedicated focus on our mission to deliver healthy meals and friendship neighbor to neighbor.
I really hope that we continue that focus for as many years as we're needed, but wouldn't it be a real blessing if we never needed a Meals on Wheels, that everyone had the food that they so richly deserve to have? But until that time, it's just so necessary to continue to support Meals on Wheels and the work that they're doing. It's making a huge difference in the lives of so many people in our community.
We need your support right here, right now, to deliver 1 million more meals to your hungry neighbors. Will you join us? Because together, we can deliver.
Well, congratulations, 50 years. Now, of course, you ladies are too young to have worked there for 50 years, but you have worked there quite a while now.
Yeah, well, I've been in my current position for about 9 years, but before that, I was a volunteer delivery driver for 7 years. I volunteered through our corporate driving program, so I worked at Chalmers Ford. Chalmers Ford had a corporate driving program. They still do. They have a team that delivers for us. And me and a coworker would go out the first Friday of every month, and we would deliver a route over on the west side. And it changed my life. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with my clients. I got to know them. It was just a life-altering experience. There was a lady who we would go and we would deliver, and we would sit down and talk with her in her rocking chair, and she would tell us about her week. I'm getting my hair done, my grandkids are coming to visit, that kind of thing. And I remember one day we were running a little bit late, and we got there, and her caregiver had arrived, and her caregiver had been cooking her food. We apologized. Well, I'm so sorry, we're running late. We wouldn't leave you hanging. Of course, we're going to be here with our meal. And her caregiver told us, Miss Elizabeth was her name. Yes, absolutely. She's severely diabetic, and she has to eat at a specific time or she could get really sick. And that was kind of an eye-opening piece for me. It really, it made me realize that, we've had a lot of fun, we've got to talk to her, but these meals are life-saving for a number of our clients. They're necessary for a number of our clients. And ever since then, we would put her the first on the route. So even though she was scheduled to be in the middle of our route, we delivered her first, just to make sure that she always had her food on time. And she has since passed away. I went to the funeral, and there was a whole pew of her Meals on Wheels drivers there to celebrate her life and to be there with her family. And that's the power of Meals on Wheels, and that's why I'm here doing what I'm doing.
Shauna, you said it changed your life. You were a young woman when you did this, and you did it. We were talking about the program, the corporate program, but it was your lunch hour.
Yeah, lunch hour. Yep.
What do you mean it changed your life?
Well, it changed the direction of my life. I was in marketing before, and now I am the CEO of a nonprofit organization. It's really showed me how I can have a personal impact on somebody else's life. And that's one of the great things about volunteering for this program, is that you get to see that firsthand. There's a lot of places where you can volunteer and you're away from the end client. This is you interacting with somebody one-on-one, and you get to see the impact that the program is having. And you make friends with individuals, and you worry about them when they're not on your route, when they're gone for a couple weeks. And those are the kind of relationships that really show you what's most important in life. Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. Cailin, what's your history with the program?
So I have been with Meals on Wheels for going on 4 years now. I actually moved from a different state to join them. I had a background and I was doing some events and marketing, and decided that I was much more interested in being able to make an impact with people, and not so much generating revenue, bottom lines, things like that. I just want to help people, and I've been so happy here ever since.
And you work with volunteers who can volunteer as little as one time a week, as little as an hour or two. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the volunteers and some cases of what they've told you about their experience volunteering. And mainly driving, I believe, right?
Yeah. So the driving role is the role that we're always in the most need of. We do have some roles within our kitchen as well. But right now, since we are expanding our program, we are delivering to more clients than ever. We're really making a push to get more drivers so we can continue to grow the way that we're growing. And while we have so many volunteers, it's between 300, 400, each one has their own separate story. What brought them to volunteering? Some of them recently lost a spouse, and they're kind of in that trial period of grief, and they're trying to figure out what their life means now. A lot of them will come to us to find someone else to feel responsible for and to check in on, which is amazing. Some of our volunteers are from out of state, and they want to find a way to get truly connected now in their new home and make an impact in their new home. And some of our volunteers they work full time, and they're on their lunch break, and they just want to use their lunch break for more than something to listen to a podcast, sit in your car. They're driving around delivering to people all around Albuquerque.
Wow, that's amazing. There's a corporate entity, a corporate program that you have. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a corporate driving program. It's a really great way for corporations or businesses or civic groups to make a really big impact. And basically what it is the organization or the business will commit to delivering 1 day a week. So when I was on it, it was every Friday, but then the business puts together its own group of employees, and they will switch off. So I didn't do it every Friday. I did it the first Friday of every month. It was a lot more manageable for me. It was manageable for the organization. It was manageable for the other drivers. And Meals on Wheels got a route filled. And every Friday they had somebody there delivering those meals. And we make it really easy. We'll go train the group wherever they happen to be. They don't have to come to us. We will go to them. We provide all the necessary platforms for training and volunteer management and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just easy and life-changing all at the same time.
What kind of commitment do you ask of these businesses?
Yeah, so just a once a week route. And while we do call it the corporate program, it actually encompasses way more than just businesses. We also have a lot of churches and civic groups that deliver as a team as well. So it's not just the responsibility of one individual delivering each week. You spread it out amongst your community, and then it's also something that you all have connecting you, right? You can talk about the same clients and talk about particular deliveries and things like that. But yeah, it's just once a week, an hour or two at a time. We keep our routes geographically condensed. So if you're delivering for us, we're not going to send you, okay, you're in the Northeast Heights. Now you're in the South Valley. We keep our routes very efficient when it comes to amount of stops as well as amount of miles. So we've actually got a whole system for managing this. All we need is the people to deliver. We just need those kind individuals in our community to come join us in our goals.
Do you have, for the volunteers, any banquets or any get-togethers for them to celebrate them?
Absolutely. Yeah, they deserve to be celebrated. We had to put it on hold in 2020 because of COVID, unfortunately, but we did bring it back. And we have once a year during April, which is Volunteer Appreciation Month. We have a big banquet. We are part of the Presidential Volunteer Service Award organization, and so based on the hours that our volunteers deliver each year, they can earn bronze, silver, or gold. And they get a letter signed by the president, whomever that happens to be that particular year. And so we have to be recertified for that every year. So that is something we're a part of, that our volunteers get to be a part of as well. And then at the end of the year, we have a holiday celebration, which I'll let you, you've handled that for the past few years. So I'm going to let you talk about that because it's a lot of fun.
Yes, so we like to provide, more than just meals to our clients. We're companionship, and for a lot of folks over the holidays, they may be alone. And for anybody who, observes Christmas, they might not be getting any gifts or anything that comes along with that. So we like to be able to provide that for them so they feel less alone during the holidays. So throughout the year, we are collecting donations for things that would be necessities for, it's going to be a senior at home, and we're getting things like blankets, books, puzzles, some hygiene items, things like that, scarves, hats, and a lot of these scarves and hats will be homemade by members of our community, and they're amazing. Every year I'm tempted, but nope, these are for the clients. But we actually host an event in mid-December every year where our volunteers come in, we feed them, we've got holiday music, we're hanging out, but we're also assembling these bags for every single client. And we're packing these individually, and it's amazing to see. Sometimes we'll have one of our volunteers will be packing bags for their route, so they know each client. They're like, I know Rose is going to like this. I know Larry needs one of these. So you can definitely tell that there's a lot more, personal thought that comes from these volunteers, and I'm just assembly lining these bags.
Gifts, scarves, meals. We're going to talk a little bit more about what constitutes a meal, but I think you're delivering more than that. But let's start with the meals. It's usually a lunch meal or what?
Yes. So the main meal is a lunch meal. It's considered 1.5 meals for the day. So if you're thinking somebody should be eating 3 meals a day, we are delivering them half of their daily intake. It's a center entree and 1 to 2 sides, depending on their diet. We do 8 different types of diets. And then they also get a cold pack, which is a small salad, a small dessert, and an optional milk. It's about 2,000 calories, I believe, for the day is what it is. We also have the option for clients to add on a breakfast or a dinner. They all are delivered at the same time. So say they get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they would get the hot lunch, they would get a chilled dinner, and then a breakfast for the following day.
And this is on a tier system sliding scale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you said you deliver them throughout the whole course of the state, but here in the city, doesn't matter what neighborhood, even a high affluent neighborhood you might be serving. And how does that work? Why would you be serving to a high affluent neighborhood?
Yeah. So for us, it's not necessarily just about money, it's more about access. And how do you access food, of which money is only a small portion of it. So it could be like somebody's recovering from an illness or an injury, somebody is very senior and they have trouble standing for long periods of time. You could begin to get into the early stages of Alzheimer's and dementia, where people are forgetting to turn off a stove, so it's not safe for them to be cooking. All of these issues can happen in any area of the city. It doesn't matter what kind of economic stability you have in that area. And so that's why we have the sliding scale, so that we can be accessible to everybody.
And at that point, I think your higher tier might be a little over $13 to receive this hot meal.
Yes, it's a hot, freshly prepared, medically tailored diet delivered directly to your door by a friendly volunteer who not only delivers meals, but we have a number of other things that we can also deliver as well.
Any stigma with the program?
I hope not. I do know that, as people get older, a lot of times Meals on Wheels or a program that is similar to ours can be seen as somebody losing their independence, but it's really not. We are designed to help people keep their independence. And in the client surveys that we do, 86% of our clients tell us that we give them back independence that they have lost by being able to cook for themselves. And so it's a stigma that we are trying to fight because it shouldn't be there. There's no reason to not receive a meal if it's something that you are in need of.
And if they're paying for it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially in the higher tiers, you know, the highest tier is actually helping to subsidize those lower tiers. So not only are you receiving a meal, but you're also giving back to your community at the same time.
That's something they could know that they're helping. And again, instead of ordering a pizza, Cailin, which many of us do,
Oh, I'm guilty.
they could get this nutritious meal to help them with their health and with their mental health and their physical health. But in addition to these meals that Shauna was telling us about, you deliver other things?
Yes, so we are able to provide assistance with pets. Pets are a member of the family, and we want to help every member of any household that we're delivering to, whether it's a person, dog, or cat. So we are able to provide monthly deliveries of either dog or cat food to our clients, as well as assist with veterinary care. We actually have partnered with a mobile vet, since remember, a lot of our clients are going to be homebound. We have a mobile vet and a mobile groomer that we are able to schedule for these, you know, routine things that pets need to stay happy, which might be difficult when you're homebound. We also deliver monthly deliveries of shelf-stable foods to anybody that might want a little bit of extra food support, foods that you can cook as needed. And we are able to provide a free copy of the Albuquerque Journal. So our clients feel more connected to their community. They can see what's going on each day. And we also provide some, you know, sometimes just little extra goodies from the community. We partner with a lot of local food providers. So just this week, we're actually sending out some bizcochitos that we got from the South Valley Economic Development Center.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And again, it's the companionship and the eyes and ears, and I imagine a lot of family members, for those who are frail in our community, Shauna, are very grateful.
Yes.
Because you are allowing folks to be in their home longer than going perhaps into assisted living or moving out of state to be with a family member's home.
Absolutely. Well, not only is it that peace of mind that we help deliver, economically it's a huge benefit as well. So we can feed somebody on our program for an entire year for the same cost as it is to put somebody in a hospital for a single day.
Repeat that.
Yes. We can feed somebody for an entire year for the same cost as it would be to put them in a hospital for a day. It's amazing, the level of economic relief that can provide, not only to a family member, but you know, also the burden on the system as well.
And if by eating these nutritious meals, they may not even need that one day in the hospital a year, Shauna. How many meals can a person order a week?
They can get as many meals as they would like. So the free program, we are able to offer up to 5 free meals, so Monday through Friday. Anything over that, we would need to put them in the next tier up in order to for them to be able to pay for those meals. But there's no limit to.
Are there some clients who have a visitor 5 times a week?
Yes, so most of our clients are receiving deliveries on a daily basis, but we are able to deliver meals. We actually offer frozen meals delivered in bulk for folks who may not be able to receive that meal every day, whether it's for, you know, maybe they have a lot of appointments, they're busy, they have caregivers other days of the week. It doesn't matter. So for some of our clients, they do receive deliveries just once a week. So we're very flexible with our scheduling.
Cailin Murray, thank you so much, Administrative Officer with Meals on Wheels here in New Mexico. Thank you so much for all you've done and for the stories that you brought. And Shauna, statewide, you are delivering now, in the past 5 or 6 years, meals statewide, but you don't ask our Albuquerque volunteers to be going driving the hobs, right?
No. Maybe when we develop teleportation, we'll do that.
It's in the works.
It's in the works, yeah.
How do they get their meals?
A couple different ways. So we either partner with organizations that are currently located in an area, so Las Cruces and up in Las Vegas. We're doing partnerships with them. Other than that, we can drop ship meals directly to people's doors. So we will overnight a number of meals to them so that they're receiving the same fresh meals that our clients here in Albuquerque get. It's the same thing that they're getting, they just are delivered overnight.
And if they can't volunteer, as we discussed, you will also accept some monetary donations.
Absolutely. The majority of our clients do receive a free or subsidized meal, and so any support that we can receive from community members helps us fulfill our mission.
And how do they find you?
Yes, MOW-NM.org is our website. We have information on receiving services, volunteering, as well as donating.
Fantastic.
Thank
Shauna
you.
Frost, thank you. Thanks for your story, your history, that it affected and changed your life. Appreciate that. And thanks to KCHF TV for bringing you this program regarding the history of Meals on Wheels and how they are affecting our community, how they're affecting all of us. Thanks for watching the show. I'm Diane Kinderwater. Make it a great week with your family. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.